Hi everyone. Today I am going to talk to you about ERPNext, and I think Michelle and everyone covered everything about Frappe. We are ERPNext is one of the oldest products we have, and one of the most popular products that we have. So, first question is, why am I talking to you about ERPNext? That is because I work on ERPNext as a developer. I primarily, as Mahima said, I work on the stock manufacturing and subcontracting modules, and so I have been working on these modules since a year. Since I started, I was always on ERPNext only. I didn't move around because we have to take your own work. And also I come from a family business background myself in manufacturing. So that is why Rushabh, in the start, he told me that I should join ERPNext in the stock manufacturing and subcontracting modules. I was born and brought up in Mumbai, and fun fact, my father is from Nohar, Hanumangarh. So first, I think we should get in what is an ERP. So ERP stands for, most of you would know, is Enterprise Resource Planning. And basically, as Ronak pointed out in his PPT, a lot of businesses today, and even this to this day, they are using multiple tools to manage their businesses. These are fragmented and disconnected tools. And ERP software, any ERP software tries to bring them all together to make a business person or the accountants or the managers life easier. So I think the best example on the top of my head I could give, like what ERP or ERPNext will do for you. For example, if you're purchasing some material, if you are doing it in Tally, if you're doing it in Excel, if you're doing it in by books like manual, which a lot of companies still do to this day, they would make changes to two accounts. That is, one is the supplier's account and one is the stock account. But something like ERPNext, you just need to make one purchase receipt or purchase invoice, sorry, and it will make entries in both the accounts. So this reduces a lot of manual effort. And this might seem simple at first, but think of the volume that one business faces every day. They have to make 100 transactions each day, and then manual bookkeeping or doing it in Excel becomes a very tedious job. So ERPNext is an ERP based on the Frappe framework. And since the Frappe framework is highly customizable and customization is key to ERP implementations, ERPNext is a very good fit for the Frappe framework. So today I am going to talk about the next version of ERPNext v16. If you guys don't know, ERPNext is going to get another version release, major release. Currently it's at v15. We will be getting v16 in January. I think it's 12th January. So first new thing that we have in ERPNext v16 would be serial number and batch traceability report. So any serial number that you consume, any serial number that you send out through a delivery note or through a sales invoice, everything will be tracked. So you can see even not just the finished good itself, but the raw materials that is required here. MC Porter requires copper wire. I got it through a purchase receipt. I manufactured it through a stock entry, and then I sent it out through a stock entry. So every serial number, every batch, you can track how it came in, how it went out. So this is one of the biggest features in ERPNext v16, that is material requirements planning. We already, first let's understand what is material requirements planning. We already had production plan in ERPNext, but a lot of customers told us that it's not enough, that we need something more. So we came up with material requirements planning. Many ERPs have material requirements planning. So we thought it was high time that we added to. So it's an addition to production plan. It's the basic idea that I'm giving you. So now you can not just forecast your production schedule, but forecast the sales as well. And based on that, you can forecast how you want to, you can plan how you want to produce, when you want to sell out the material, send out the materials for sales. So we have sales forecasting, which you can do using two methods. One is the manual method, And one, you can forecast sales using the whole winters method, which uses both the trend and seasonality of orders. It uses the sales order that you get, the material request that you have in your system. Based on that, it will give you an output, like what will be the forecast for your sales. You can, so many customers also say that if you have, let's say, a 1,000 quantity order that you want to deliver in batches, every month you need 10, every month you need 100 quantities. So you can put manually, you can specify this, and according to it, you will get the report that you need to manufacture it at this point of time to deliver this order in time. So using all of this, you have the new doc type called master production schedule, which uses sales forecasts that we added, sales orders, delivery schedules, and reorder levels of items to get the master production schedule, which in result gives you the material requirement planning report. And with this, you can, this is the final report that you can use to identify at what point do I have to manufacture this raw material, sorry, this good, and even the raw materials inside it and the sub-assemblies inside it to fulfill this order. This order, any order, and multiple orders as well. So now let's get into subcontracting. So a lot of you might know that we already have a subcontracting model in ERPNext. So now we have the subcontracting inward, which is the exact opposite of subcontracting. That is, in the normal process, you are the one sending out raw materials to a third party that will manufacture the goods for you. In this process, a customer is sending you goods for you to manufacture for them. So let's see how that works. So this is very, if you have used subcontracting module, you have subcontracting purchase order. Now you have subcontracted sales order, where you specify the service that you're selling and the finished good that you have to send to the customer after manufacturing. So this is very, very similar to the subcontracted purchase order. And using that sales order, using that sales order, you can create a subcontracting inward order, which is again very similar to a subcontracting order, which specifies the goods that you need to produce, the raw materials that you need to complete this order, the sales order that you have. So now we faced a minor issue in this, that if you receive customer goods from the customer, the goods that you receive are not yours, so the accounting impact, so it shouldn't account your books, right? But the quantity and rate you see, amount you see here, we still have to capture that for compliance purposes. In e-way bill, you have to specify the worth of the material that are moving around, right? So that's why we are capturing the rate here. But if you look at the stock accounting ledger of this, you'll see it's zero. Despite us having to, we have set an amount here or rate here, the accounting impact is still zero because the goods are not yours. That's why. So another part that we did in this process is, it is possible for the customer to tell you that out of 5 raw materials, I'll give you 4, you procure 1 yourself and you bill me for it. That can be done for many reasons. For example, the biggest reason is maybe you have access to those resources that the customer does not. So he says, I'll give you 4, you buy 1 yourself or you procure 1 yourself and you bill me for it. So this, you can see soldering is the service that we are selling, and resistor is the one that we have procured, that is our material, that is not the customer's material. We are using it, we have either produced it or we have bought it, and we can directly, once you create the sales invoice from the sales subcontractor sales order, every raw material that you have procured yourself will be added to the sales invoice automatically. These are just the top level things I'm telling you. There are multiple things in this process. For example, you can also return the finished delivered goods, receive the finished goods that were rejected by the customer if they were rejected. You can also receive them back. And there are multiple facets to this feature. But since we are short on time, I am telling you the top level stuff. So there is actually one point missing here, that is also work order. So for those of you who don't know what stock reservation is, basically, if you have used V15, there is an option to reserve stock in the sales order. that tells you that the stock, the sales order, I am reserving the stock for this order because I do not want the materials that I have reserved to be used in another order by mistake. It is possible, we have seen this a lot, that customers make a sales order, then they don't have the goods at the end to ship to the customer. So using stock reservation, you can reserve it. So anytime you try to deliver more than you have reserved, it will give you an error that this material has been reserved and you cannot deliver it until you finish that, or either you cancel the reservation, you cancel the document, or you deliver that order. So now we have expanded that to production plan, subcontracting order, and work order. So for production plan, whatever you decide that this will be a production plan, this will be how I will procure my raw materials, how I will when I will use it. It will block that committed stock there, and it won't allow you to use that stock anywhere. The same goes for subcontracting order. That is when you keep some raw material aside that you have to give to a third party supplier. So you can keep that aside and it won't allow you to use that stock anywhere. Same goes for work order. I think you get the point after this. So this is not directly related to ERPNext, but anything related to Frappe framework is also a part of ERPNext and every Frappe product. So that's why I decided to include this one here. So let's get into it. So if you have not tried the V16 beta, you will not know this, but ERPNext has a new look. So this is the old look. This you might have been used to. This is how ERPNext V15 looks right now. And sorry, this is how the dashboard looks currently in V16 beta, and this will be what you will see in the V16 release as well. So every app can either have its own logo, or it can decide to put like ERPNext modules are selling, buying some stock. So it can either put itself there or it can put its modules there, and each app can decide how to do that. So we have game plan, Frappe HR. Frappe HR has 10 more workspaces. This has been completely redesigned from the top. So this is how the workspace looks. So this was the old workspace. This is the new workspace. We have a new sidebar, new charts and everything. This is the old list view, and the new list view is pretty good. It looks like this. So there were a lot of unused things here, like for example, the assign to, created by, tags, which people rarely use. So we decided to move that around. You will see also the awesome bar there is not present here because we moved to the left. You can see the search there at the top left if you can. So this has been completely revamped for a better user experience, especially for end users. So this was one of the highly requested features that we kept on getting again and again. So if you, in V15, if you had a child row like this, and you wanted to see multiple columns, you had to click on that pencil icon over there, the columns inside that row. You had to click on the pencil icon and then view it. But now with scrollable columns, you can add as many columns as you like. There's no limit right now. There's no limit. And once you do that, you can scroll through the fields. So let's see it in action. So you see, previously we didn't have this. It used to, you have to click on the pencil icon and you had to manually go through each and every record. Now building upon this, we also have sticky columns. That is, you will have, if you're using ERP, any sort of ERP or any sort of CRUD app, create, read, update, delete, you will have to tally one field from many other fields. So if you want, for example, you want to compare quantity with another field, if you move around the list, if you move around horizontally, so the field will stick there. So it becomes easier for you to tally. Let's see. So we are stickying item and rate. So once you move around, you see the field is just stuck there right now. So these two were a highly requested feature. That's why I decided to include it here. For the future, we are trying a lot of things. We have a lot of things in discussion. Every Monday we discuss new features to be worked on, what bugs do we have, and we do it based on what the customers are telling us, what the partners are telling us, what the community members are telling us. We actually have a list where we keep track of all features that people are keep asking. Like if a person has asked this for one time, two times, three times, and based on the number of requests that we have, we decide what to do. And things like we are evaluating MES, WMS, things like that. Where WMS is warehouse management systems, MES is manufacturing execution systems, and we are evaluating that. But our end goal is make ERPNext end to end. That is every requirement that you have from an ERP that you would want. We want ERPNext to have it end to end, from start to end. So how would we do that? As I said, with you, that is the partners, the customers, the community members. What you say, we put it on the list, and based on the number of requests, based on basically the number of requests, we decide what to do. So every suggestion that you have, you can always discuss it on discuss.frappe.io. You can put a GitHub issue, and we are there. We always check the issues, we check, discuss, and we keep evaluating things. So it is very important for the customers or the partners or the community members to be active, and to improve, we need to know what we need to improve on. So yeah, that's pretty much it from my side.